It is a real good idea that any time anyone is using a commentary, to take that commentary and compare it with what it says in the suttas themselves. If the commentary does not agree with what the suttas say, it's best not to use that commentary very much. It might have some great points in it, but if by and large there are mistakes when you compare it with the original teaching, then it will only cause confusion and cause more misunderstanding about what the emphasis of the practice is. So if you take the sutta, if you take the commentaries and you put them on the shelf where they belong, just as reference to see, and go to the original teachings, you might find that the kind of practice that you've been using for however many years doesn't really agree so well with what the suttas are teaching. An example of this is the Satipatthana Sutta and the directions in the mindfulness of breathing in that sutta. And I'll read to you what the Satipatthana Sutta says. This is not my interpretation. This is what the sutta says. It says, contemplation of body, mindfulness of breathing. This is section number 4 in Sutta number 10 in the middling sayings. And how does a monk abide contemplating the body as a body? Here a monk gone to the forest or to the root of a tree or an empty hut sits down, having folded his legs crosswise, set his body erect, and establishes mindfulness in front of him. Ever mindful he breathes in, mindful he breathes out. Breathing in long, he understands, I breathe in long. Or breathing out long, he understands, I breathe out long. Breathing in short, he understands, I breathe in short. Breathing out short, he understands, I breathe out short. Now the first two sentences here are talking about understanding that you know what the breath is doing. It's nothing to do with breath body. It has to do with the breath itself. You understand when you take a long breath, you understand when you take a short breath. It does not say to focus only on the breath. It does not mention your nostril tip, your upper lip, or your abdomen. It just says you know when you take a long breath and when you take a short breath. Now we get into the actual instructions on the meditation. He trains thus. These are key words because this is how you train yourself. I shall breathe in, experiencing the whole body. He trains thus. I shall breathe out, experiencing the whole body. This is not body of breath. This is the entire body. Now, he trains thus, I shall breathe in, tranquilizing the bodily formation. He trains thus, I shall breathe out, tranquilizing the bodily formation. So it's saying that on the in-breath, you tranquilize the bodily formation. On the out-breath, you tranquilize the bodily formation. What does that mean? It means that if there is any tension or tightness anywhere in your body, you relax it on the in-breath and you relax it on the out-breath. This step has been forgotten, not used. with a lot of people that are practicing meditation today. This step is a very, very important part of the meditation. There is a tightness that is very subtle that occurs in the head, around your brain. There's a membrane around your brain that kind of holds your brain all together. Every time there is any kind of distraction, it contracts. And with that contraction, there's a tension or tightness that arises. On the in-breath, you relax that tension or tightness. On the out-breath, you relax that tension or tightness. When your mind becomes distracted, you notice that your mind is distracted. You let that distraction be there by itself and relax the tension or tightness caused by mind's attention moving to that distraction. The more you become familiar with how that tension or tightness arises, the easier it is to see that. Now, what is this tension or tightness that arises? This tension or tightness that arises is craving. And every time you let go of craving, you feel your mind expand and then become calm. Every time you let go of craving, your mind is pure at that time. Your awareness is very sharp. There are no thoughts. There's just this pure awareness. And you bring this pure awareness back to your object of meditation. So every time you let go of tension and tightness, you are letting go of craving, which happens to be the second noble truth. The cause of suffering is craving. When you let go of that craving, that purity of mind, at that moment is the cessation of suffering. And you do this on the in-breath, and you do this on the out-breath. There's a distraction, you let the distraction be, you relax, bring that pure mind back to your object of meditation, and relax some more.